let's talk about what is happening in the world of Sarah Boone because there is actually quite a bit she's going to have to deal with in court. So, first off, I do want to briefly mention the family law case. Yes, she still wants money. She still wants to control the lives of Brian and her son, and she is going at it. Tanika's Two Cents is covering a 33-page document filed by Sarah Boone in the family law case. That's all going on. All I have to say about that is I hope if Sarah finds a way to get money from Brian, or she finds a way to get money for her story when she shouldn't, anything like that, I hope that the Torres family is able to get it from her in a civil case. I do not think it's okay for her to have any of that. She is in state custody. Things are provided for the rest of her life, although it appears she really does think she is getting out still. With that being said, I do want to just talk a little bit more about what's happening with her appeal. If you haven't been following along, there was an issue where there was a late filing, things weren't filed, and then eventually we got an extension granted, and there was a Sarah complaint letter where she talks of trying to contact the guy, and then also it comes out that she has third parties trying to contact him, and then this appellate lawyer is like, I quit appellate law, I want off the case. Very interesting. A lot of comments have mentioned it. It's really interesting that he took on the case if he was already planning to quit appellate law. He took on the case in December. That's not that long ago, and these are long cases. Some people are wondering, did Sarah or Sarah's third party people make him just give up that entire practice for now, at least? But he is asking to leave her case. I covered that in the previous video, so you can check that out if you would like to. He has to, I believe, go in front of Judge Kranick to request this. I guarantee Sarah Boone, when she finds out, she is going to demand to be involved, whether that's by Zoom. I would not be shocked in person. She is probably going to have a lot to say in court, which sucks because we probably won't get to see that. I would not be shocked at the very least. We get a letter of her detailing things because she knows these letters are seen by the public. She might give us a letter complaining about him, kind of like how she complained about all of her lawyers in her final statement, her that she released after the trial, right? She did her final terrible statement in court, redacted a bunch of it, and then added it all onto the public docket at the end. We could get that style of complaint from Sarah yet again with this man. We don't know the story. We're probably only really going to hear Sarah's side of it, and no one really should trust that, in my opinion. But this also is going to delay things, which is going to upset Sarah, because as you can see here, there was a motion for an extension, 60 days, July 1st. If they get a new attorney, they're absolutely going to have to extend it. It's starting all over fresh. And then who knows how long that attorney will last. There is a history with Sarah. We will just have to see. I also want to mention, since I asked in a community post, I asked people in a community post when you watched my Sarah Boone video from the other day, did you see ads on it if you watched it that day? All the replies were saying that they had YouTube Premium, and I want to explain why I asked. I asked that question because there was a glitch that day, and across YouTube, people who uploaded videos did not have ads playing on their videos from what the creators can tell, and therefore made no money. The only money made that day is from YouTube Premium views, essentially. And this is echoed by thousands of creators, from what it sounds like. And well, it does suck significantly for me that I finally have a good video that has a good watch time, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get a little from it. Apparently not. Um, I really feel bad for some of the larger creators that put out videos that have 250,000 views or more. Maybe they invested a ton of money into a video, released it that day. There was no indication on our end that there was a problem, and people are just now finding out they might not have got paid at all. And that is the current thought process. So we're not going to get, there's nothing to fix because there were no ads playing, and therefore no one's going to get paid. and that is just horrible for the website. That's why I was asking on the community posts. I wasn't sure what the situation was. People were still figuring it out, and it looks to be very bad indeed. Um, so there you go with that. Now, I am still looking at other trials to cover. I do read all your comments. I was just reading a thing about a guy who killed his ex-wife and her parents, chopped them up into pieces, hired day laborers to move the bodies that were in bags. That's probably enough for you to find the case. I can't remember the names of the name of the guy that did it. The day laborers realized something was wrong, tried to contact multiple police departments, and no one wanted to take action. Eventually, things did happen, and they found body parts, and the guy got arrested. And then the guy was actually the cameraman for a couple famous YouTubers in the past, and then he was in jail and they didn't watch him well enough and he ended his own life and all of that. Probably not going to cover that, but I've still been catching up on stuff. I am always looking for another trial to watch. I'm debating on how I want to do the next live trial I cover. I like doing those. Um, so the way I did Sarah Boone and Lori Vallow was I watched, and when it ended, as soon as the trial ended, I had my segments pre-recorded as I went, smushed together, rendered, uploaded as soon as possible with my recap of the day. I am debating instead still taking all my notes and then doing the actual recordings maybe later at night where it's just cooler in general in this room area and I can get things done easier at night, and then publishing the videos the next morning or the next day before the actual trial begins. So essentially, you could watch a recap of the day before, and if you need to catch up, go right into the second day watching it live, or you could just watch the recaps each day if that's what you wanted to do until probably the final day, and then I'd probably do the final, hoorah, here's what happened video. I'm not sure. I've thought about that, and I don't know what people would prefer. Let me know in the comments down below what you would prefer. Either way is fine. I just get a little sweaty and hot if I have to do it during the day, which is fine. Trying to think of anything else I want to cover. I am still doing a lot of gaming videos, not as much the last few days. I'm honestly still just feeling burned out on true crime a little bit. I'm feeling burned out on my gaming content. I'm gonna be honest, last few days, I have been sitting and watching fish. Just watching fish in a tank and watching fish in a pond. And that has been basically all I've done. Got grocery shopping with the tariff situation possibly in a couple days. I went ahead and stocked up on some essentials that I might as well get them now in case the prices go up, type of thing. Stuff that'll last, stuff that you buy every few months. Went ahead and stocked up on that. Cost me a little pretty penny, but got it all done. And for the gaming content, I think the next thing's Pokemon in October for like a big thing. That when that happens, no matter what trial, I'm probably not going to be on this channel. I'll be doing a lot of content with that for sure. Um, but yeah, I still have all my tabs and everything saved and all my links to all these different cases and trials. I still check the dockets. I'm doing all of that, so I know I've been lacking on videos. And I hate doing that, but I don't want to like force a video when I'm not super into it and just kind of suck. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, Sarah Boone is always something that reignites me, though. I have to say, because I dealt with her, and no matter what situation Sarah Boone is in, it is absurd, right? Every situation with Sarah Boone is absolutely absurd. What they allowed her to get away with to George before the murder, absurd. The way she acted when he after she killed him, absurd. The way the court process, absolutely absurd. Her letters, absolutely absurd. The fact that she made a wanted sign for a lawyer, crazy. And then it worked. Like, it's always something that reinvigorates me a little bit because it's like You never know what you're going to get, except crazy, except something that doesn't make sense, something to subvert your expectations a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie. I am eagerly awaiting Sarah trying to explain her version of why of this lawyer leaving, and I'm curious if she is going to try to have the judge prevent him from quitting. I am very curious on that. All I know is whoever will be representing her next, she won't like them any more than this man.